Hello and welcome to Beachview, our podcast about different things and/or stuff.
Hello, welcome. So today we had to bring it back to Taylor Swift's brand new album, The Tortured Poets Department. And we have a special guest with us today, our sister, Brenna.
Hi guys, thanks for having me on.
Welcome. You know we had to have you on to talk about the album, so...
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
This is the third time we've had you on to talk about a Taylor Swift album.
I know.
Yeah.
And each time I'm always excited to talk about it. This time though, I feel like it's gonna be a hard one.
It's gonna be a hard one. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, Bryce, I'm very interested and intrigued to hear your thoughts on her new album.
Oh, I didn't like it. I guess we're just getting into it straight away.
Well,
Why not?
I expected nothing less from you.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
You know, I haven't liked the previous albums we've done. I'm just not a fan of her style generally. I think it's boring.
Hold on. You said you like 1989.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
In our conversation about this previously, I said I was perhaps too harsh on 1989 because
okay,
compared
that's
to
generous.
this, it's the best album of all time.
Oh!
This album is really bad. I think maybe
Oh, whoa! Whoa, no.
I think maybe I was a bit
Right.
harsh on her previous work.
Okay.
This isn't harsh.
Taylor, if for some reason you ever hear this podcast, just so you know,
We're so sorry.
we might be related, but our music tastes, no.
We don't condone this
Behavior.
type of behavior.
I feel like this is it's an hour of music. First of all, like even at the best of times, I struggle listening to an album that long. And it feels like a more bloated but worse version of
Ugh.
Midnight's. It's the same sort of or a similar synth pop style that I guess is her style now, but it feels just worse lyrically, production wise. I don't know. It feels like too much. She needs an editor, someone to tell her, hey, you need to cut this and not have a whole hour of music plus another one because she surprise released a double album.
Well, here's what I'll say. People have been saying that this album is for really, it's not to break records, it's not for awards, it's truly just for her to release all that stuff she went through the past 2 years and for the fans that really just care about her music and what the meanings behind it. And I've heard, too, people compare it and say it's kind of like Midnight's and Folklore / Evermore had like a child. And I think I would agree with that. It's like a mixture of, lyrically, the mixture of Folklore and Evermore with the sound, and then with Midnight's.
Yeah, so let's clarify. So for the purposes of this podcast, we're just talking about the first 16 songs, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I have to say, I've been in my Evermore and Folklore era, still, I'll listen to that a lot in my car. It's I find it very calming when I'm driving in traffic and everybody's aggravating me. So I've been listening to that a lot. So I was down with this album. I was okay, I like the softness and the slowness and the moodiness of it.
See, I agree. And for me, when I first listened to Midnight's, it's not what I expected. And then same thing with this album. It's not exactly what I expected it, but the more I listen to it and the more I hear the song and I listen to the lyrics, I'm liking it more and more and more. And that's what normally happens because I'm just
Same.
taking it all in. And it's going to be hard for me to talk about this album because I'm still processing. This is a lot. And
Yeah.
there's so much information that I feel like we could re-record this podcast 6 months from now and my perspective will be completely different.
Yeah, I agree. It's that to me is what this album is all about. Is just listening to it, and like you said, the first listen is different from the second one and different from the third, so it's you're gonna keep interpreting it and
Mhm.
finding new meaning in it, I feel so yeah, which I like that. I like the introspective commentary on her last 2 years. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't.
He's
Well,
didn't
no.
like it.
Bryce, you're just the hater
Absolutely
in the
not.
room. It's okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't hate the last two albums of hers we did on this podcast. They're just not for me. This
You
one I
just
think
didn't
is
like
bad.
them.
It's weaker from her than her previous outings, at least that I've listened to. Maybe
Well-
she has worse stuff out there.
No. Well, I will say some people are saying that they're just saying they think her time with Jack, as much as like everybody loves Jack and her working together, they think that like she needs to like work with other producers moving forward.
Which she did a little bit on this one. Like
Yeah.
I saw there was another person on there.
Aaron.
Yeah. Which I don't mind Jack, but I see what people are saying. Like, if they were looking for a new sound, I don't know that they got it, but it still was new and different than her other albums, I feel like.
Eh.
Christ.
I maintain that this is just a worse version of Midnight's.
Oh my god.
I liked Midnight's.
Meet Me at Midnight. Loved
and
it.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is better than this.
You know what? I'll take that for a compliment for her.
I guess.
So from coming from Bryce, yes.
I knew he was gonna hate it. I couldn't wait to hear what he thought, but I was like, I knew he's gonna hate it.
Well, one thing I will say before we get to the track by track, I know a lot of her fans think she's like the best lyricist of all time or what have you. I've never been like, fans exaggerate, but I've never thought she was like a bad lyricist. She's decent at it. I think the lyrics on this album are bad. I do not like them at all.
I have to disagree with you. I like the lyrics.
I do too.
I was like, no, there's poetry in this, which is what I always say about her. Like, I think that, her lyrics are poetic. Like, I like some of the lines are just, I think just really, I don't know, pretty and thoughtful. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but like, I do think she's a good lyricist.
I do too. And I can see though why some people aren't loving the lyrics, because there are in some songs when I first heard it, some of the lyrics, like I thought, okay, that doesn't flow like it normally does. But looking at it as a whole and like kind of looking at like how she's talked about this album and what she has said about it, I feel like some of the songs, it's like madness and a little manic, and I feel like that's what she wanted though, because that's showcasing this time period of her life where she really just was going through it. And honestly, like Jen was saying, these lyrics are very poetic, and there are some moments where it's like, wait, what does she mean by that? But she always has a deeper meaning sometimes, and there are some lyrics in here that are just straight up like punch to the heart, gut wrenching. I felt gutted by some of these, and like my mouth would drop open on some of these lyrics, like, oh my god. And it brought up stuff that like from my life that I was like, wait a minute, I thought I was over.
I was gonna say no, totally. This is what I really like about her lyrics is that, and I said this before, it's totally relatable. Like anyone who's gone through a relationship, like the way she has, will totally get this. Like, and like you said, Brenna, like it brings up stuff. Like it's like you're still processing stuff, So I think like that's pretty powerful. Like even if like, you think that her lyrics are surface level, I think like the feeling in it is like what like what I pull out of it is like, okay, they might be kind of cut and dry lyrics, but like, I don't know. I feel like they're not. I feel like they're good. I feel like they bring up feelings, and like anything that's evocative like that, I think is good.
I don't know. It feels amateurish to me. Like this was a first draft that got leaked out, and like it's a whole large, 2 hours of music. I feel like, again, she really needed an editor. Someone to say, no, you need to cut this down. Like, go back to the drawing board on some of these.
You can't hold Taylor down.
You can't, and you know what? She said what she said. She said what she needed to, and she released it, and she said...
Period.
And she also said, throughout this album, we'll talk about it, F you, F this person, F all this. Yes. Let me live, and I'm not perfect, and I feel like this album just shows that. Like, she's tired of people holding her on a pedestal and thinking she's great and perfect. She's like, no, I'm a human. I make mistakes. I can be a horrible person too. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
She did that better on Anti-Hero.
Well, people didn't get it. They didn't get it until...
No, people didn't get it.
Until now, they're all like, wait a minute. Like, I saw this like, a lot of fans commenting on this saying, guys, we're a huge part of the problem. Like, she basically tried telling us multiple times in different songs. And then finally she was like, no, F this. You guys aren't hearing me. And that's what this is.
Yeah, which I love because she has this huge fan base, and I feel like she's finally like saying like it's good and it's bad.
Yeah.
Like stay out of my relationship.
Stay out of my life.
Yeah.
Man,
Love that.
I don't know. I'm just not interested in that sort of thing.
It's okay. It's okay. What about the first song, Bryce? What did you think about Fortnite?
Okay, so yeah, we're getting into the track by track finally.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we need to.
Let's do
Alright.
it. First track is Fortnite, which features Post Malone. And you know I love some Post Malone.
Me
And you know I
too.
don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
These are like two of my favorite artists, Posty and Tay Tay. One
Yes.
song together.
Posty!
Yes.
Yes. But I love her bitterness here.
Yes.
Like I absolutely love that because I first listened to it and I was like, okay, like it's a little bit slow, and I really thought Posty was going to have a little bit more of a, spotlight,
Yeah.
but once I listened to it again, I was like, no, I really like it because like I love her feeling. I love like the bitterness.
Yes.
And I like she says, your wife waters flowers, I want to kill her, like something like that. I was like, that to me, I just love, like, she's so open with her, like, your wife is basically perfect and I hate her,
Yes.
kind of thing.
And the
Yeah.
line, I love you, it's ruining my life.
Yes, I love that.
I feel like
Love that.
there's a lot of people that can relate to that. Just that
Yeah.
line, like, loving the wrong person, it can definitely just, like,
Yeah,
kill your vibe. And personally, I think it can, like, mess up your life.
for real.
I thought this song was fine. I
Oh,
didn't
really?
dislike this one.
Oh.
I mean, I don't like Post Malone on it, but,
Mhm.
I don't like him in general. I think this is her best vocal performance on the album, but I also, I don't like her, vocal performance. It's the way she writes her rhythms on her vocals. She's always got this, very, punchiness to it, that, sort of punctuated sound. I don't know, I don't like it. But, I thought she was good on this song, and it's a decent intro, good, sets a tone for the album. The rest of the album were good. I think this might be a good song for it.
I think it is.
Okay, so we got some positivity
Yeah.
here.
There's gonna be a few moments of positivity.
Well,
Good, we like to see it.
I will say, I think this song, especially in Post Malone's verse, where it kind of reminds me of that Folklore Evermore writing, where he says,
Yes.
all my mornings are Mondays stuck in endless February. I
I
took the
loved
miracle move on
that.
drug. Yes, the lyrics were temporary. Like, she's basically saying, my mornings are boring. But she says it in such a poetic way. It's just...
Yeah, I like that. Because again, it's like evocative of feelings, okay?
All the poetry of a Garfield strip.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
All right.
Peter.
I loved Fortnite, so don't
Yeah, and
don't
I
hate on
liked
it.
Post Malone's part in it. I like that. I don't know. I felt like he was a perfect feature because I don't know, like they both put this like feeling into it, and I felt
Mhm.
like they were like matching each other's energy, and I really liked that.
Yeah, and I feel like
I
they
just
both
don't like him.
you just don't. Well, they both have a wide variety of range in their music, and I think
Yeah.
if you follow Post Malone, his album that he released this year was completely different than his past albums, and I feel like
Yeah,
they can have
Exactly.
the poppy, like really basic out there hype music, but then they can also have these gut wrenching songs too, and that's hard for
Yeah.
some artists to do.
And it's hard for some fans to accept.
Exactly. Bryce, what did you think about the next track?
Alright, next track.
Tortured Poets Department.
Title track. Yeah, I didn't really like this one. I feel like I'm gonna, like on most Taylor Swift songs we've done, my biggest note is boring. I don't like this synth pop
Boring.
style. Well established, I'm not a fan. And yeah, I don't know, it's all like melancholic too, in a way that feels like, I don't know, this feels like a song that's perfectly designed to play in a big box store, like when you're kind of sleepy.
Ew.
Oh,
Like, I don't know, just not my thing. And also, I thought the lyrics were bad.
I like the lyrics. The only lyric that I like the lyric written, but like in the song, I don't necessarily love it, is the like a tattooed golden retriever.
Oh, I thought that was kind of cute.
I thought it was, no, I thought it's so clever, but like the way, like in the flow of the song and the way it goes and the way she sang it, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. The delivery, yeah.
Yes. Because I was just like,
I like the
Tattoo.
song.
Golden. Oh, me too. I do love this song, and the chorus especially when her voice, "Who's gonna hold you like me?"
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I know. I love that line. I just think it's so good. I like the beats here too. Like,
mhm.
I think it's good. And I like the tattooed golden retriever line, but I see what you're saying too. But I thought this was a good title track.
I would agree. I thought so too. And she doesn't always include a title track on her album, so it was
Yeah.
nice to see that. I will say the lyric that made my mouth drop open and stay open for not even like I had to pause listening because of this. When she talked about the ring thing at dinner, where he took her
Oh,
ring finger
yes.
off her middle finger and put it on.
And put it, yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, like if some man did that to me, I don't know what I would do. Like I think I would have a heart attack, be like, one, like, how dare you do that? But two, that is like the most romantic thing
Yeah.
that someone could do. Like that's just
I think it's so, yes. Okay. And in the context of this song. So wait. So who is this song about?
well,
Matt Healy, right?
That's
Was it about
what-
Matt Healy?
yes, that's what people are saying. I think this one is about him. 'Cause
Okay. I think so too. And for them to have, I mean, because they didn't date for that long,
well,
right?
so
Or
they
did they?
here's the thing. In her 1989 era, there were like speculations about them a little bit because they've run in the
Oh.
same circle for years. So
Okay.
they've kind of had like some people think like a situationship like on and off for like 10 years.
I got you.
Like-
Oh, wow.
We're getting into celebrity gossip territory now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we are.
Just giving the
The
backstory.
context.
The context of it.
Yeah. Okay, so my whole point was like, it seemed like their like relationship was pretty intense for it being like a shorter time period.
Yeah.
You know, but like you're saying, if they knew each other for years, whatever. But like that whole thing, like taking the ring off and putting it on the other finger was like, oh, like they didn't even date for that long. Like, wow, this is kind of crazy.
Yes, it's like he's moody and crazy, and
Yeah.
it checks out that he would be the one to do that in
Yeah.
the most poetic, I feel like, declaration of love way.
Yeah. I liked it.
I did too.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay. We'll
you
just
don't have to
move
say
on to the
anything.
next track.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Third track on here, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toy.
Love, 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 love.
Okay, I have to say this. So when the first listen, I was like, oh, I don't really know about this. Like, I was like, it's not really like my favorite so far. But then when I gave it a second listen, like the next day, I was like, okay, this song is stuck in my head and it's really catchy and I like it.
It is. It's been stuck in my head.
Yes. It's got like it's such a catchy like beat and like I don't know. At first I didn't like the lyrics to this one.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, I kind of do. Bryce, thoughts?
Boring.
Nah, that's all you have to
No.
say.
Yeah. Well, I feel like again, every time we've done Taylor Swift, that's like I don't like the synth pop stuff. Especially the
Oh, I
more
like
like
synth pop.
I do.
you know, like mellow, like
Yeah.
more melancholic synth pop stuff.
I don't know. I love
I
it.
like it.
I love a song that's sad, but like it's hidden sad because it has a nice little
Yes.
beat. I feel like this one is a nice break from the really sad songs.
Yeah. And listen to what it's saying. My boy
Yes.
only breaks his favorite toy. Like, wow.
Like I could talk so much about the song, about a lot of these, but we don't have the time to, sit here and I mean I could go lyric
Dissect
by
it,
lyric,
yeah.
line by line.
It's relatable, right?
Yeah, like it checks out, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I like it. I think it's good. I like her performance on this one. I like it.
I did too, and I like the message behind it.
Yeah, I like the message too. Okay, so I guess let's move to the next one. Down Bad.
Oh, I'm down bad for this song. Sorry, I have to be a little corny, but
For
I am.
real. Me too. Same. Bryce, thoughts?
didn't like this one once again.
Not at all? Nothing about
No.
it? Nothing?
I thought the bridge was decent.
It was. It's good.
But yeah, again, I thought the lyrics were bad. I don't get the, like, kind of sprinklings of sci-fi references in there. And also, down bad, fuck it if I can't have him. It's just a really bad line. I don't know.
What?
Listening to it, I was just like, am I missing something here? This is just bad, right?
Yes, you
No,
are.
it's good. Alright, did you like the outro? I thought you would comment on the outro.
Eh,
A little instrumentation. Okay.
I didn't make a note about it, and I don't remember it now, so...
Okay.
I have to say this song, oh my gosh. I unfortunately have related to this song before. Previously, because
Yeah.
last time we did a podcast recording midnights and all that, you know, I was going through it. But this song, I feel like any girl that's had like a relationship that like failed that they didn't expect to fail
Yeah.
has that feeling of, well,
Oh, for sure.
like, F it, if I can't have this person, like, what's the point? What, like,
Exactly. Yeah.
what am I supposed to do now? Like, F them if they can't get their act together. F life for this relationship failing.
Yeah.
I think this also, too, is a great relationship or great song for relationships that were serious and long term, like hers and Joe's were. Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time to spend with someone and for it not to work out. I think this is a valid reaction of anger and
Yeah.
despair. Like, I don't know. I think it's just a great song.
I felt this. Yeah, I felt this, like, having been in a 6-year relationship that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Also.
I thought of you. I did.
Yeah, I felt this. And I really like this one. Like, you can feel the angst. And that's what I
Yes.
really like about the songs on this album is, like, the angst. I love a good angsty album. Like,
Mhm.
get it out. Like, process it. Like, even if it's, like, bringing up old feelings, like, that's okay. I really like it. And I like this song. This is another one to me that's really catchy. Like, I was, like, singing it to myself, like, yesterday afternoon. Like, it just, like, stuck in your head. And I always like that about music. So, yeah. I thought it was so good.
Eh.
Bryce hated it. Bryce hated it.
I didn't hate
It's
it.
fine.
Oh, you didn't hate it?
I just thought it was boring and the lyrics were bad.
Okay. Well, what do you think about the next track, So Long London?
I like the vocal intro, the, like, layered vocals there.
Mhm.
And it's,
Mhm.
like, I think there's maybe a little bit of instruments in the back there, but it's mostly just, like, an a cappella thing. But then I thought once the music kicked in, it was boring again. Yeah, and again, I like I said, I've not normally I think Taylor Swift's lyrics are fine. You know, she's a decent writer. She's not the greatest of all time, like her fans say, but this was just bad.
Oh my gosh, it was not bad. I'm sorry, I
Mhm.
gotta disagree.
Gotta disagree.
Like, I feel like, how much sad did you think I had in me? It's just really stand out for how poor it is. Like, it's just
What?
like,
What?
really?
I wrote that line down like as I really liked it. How much sad did you think I had? It's so like that's how you feel. You know, where you're like, I don't know. It's just so relatable. Like you said that you love me, but where was the proof? I died at the altar waiting for clues. Like, relates so much to this. Like
Yes.
I thought it was so good.
So, do you like these because they're relatable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you
And
can
the-
find
Heck
any
yes.
number of songs that are relatable. This is a very
But
common
with-
human experience.
Which is, yeah, why they're all put together on this
Yes.
one album for us.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it's not just that they're relatable too. Like, it's just she articulates what if you've dated someone like she did, like the Joe, if you've had that sort of relationship where they're like a good person, they're a great person, but yet
Just not working out.
yeah, and there's a lot of love there, but yet they're still not treating you right, or they're still not doing right by you. And she can just articulate those feelings in the most poetic way that, and even, I feel like too, even here, she does have like simple lines that are just, I'm trying to find the one I wrote down for, because how much sad do you think I had in me? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
I love this song. I can relate to this song.
I love it too. And like you're saying, like lyrics might be simple But I think, Brenna, to your point, it's articulating feelings that
Yeah.
you have had. And that's what I think is good about it, because sometimes, you have these feelings, but it's hard to describe, and I think
Yeah.
that's what she's doing here, is describing them.
Yeah, well, I think she does often go for a simplistic style, kind of down to earth, which, again, I
Yeah.
think she's a decent lyricist on other stuff from her I've heard. I don't think it works here. And I
gotcha.
can't really put my finger onto why. It just feels really amateurish compared to her other stuff.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of common themes throughout this album of angst, sadness, despair, anger.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've listened to nu metal before.
But I also like how she talks about like how one of her favorite places is now ruined because of a person.
Yes.
And that in itself is just very true for anyone that's made memories at a certain place with someone, and now it's like, oh, that place is like haunted by that.
Ruined. Yeah.
They ruined it. And when you were talking about Bryce, the intro to it, a lot of people are saying that she like sampled and kind of used from her previous songs, which she has done this throughout the album. Like some people are like, oh, she repeated lyrics. It's like, no, she's kind of creating an illusion of old lyrics, and she's like referencing back to them to kind of like tell like the story, like to tie the story together, so we have like a full,
which I like.
Yeah.
And
so I think the intro, like some people were saying like, call it what you want to, or Death by a Thousand Cuts. It's kind of like similar to those from her 2 previous albums.
I like, okay, So Long London. So to me, not only was she talking about London, the city, but she was talking about the person.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, I like that kind of slightly veiled,
Double meaning?
I like the slightly veiled meaning. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like that. But I thought that was so good. It was so good.
I didn't like
Anyway. You
No,
wouldn't.
you
it.
wouldn't.
Okay. Moving on to the next song. But Daddy, I love him.
The one song on here I like. I like the country influence.
Oh.
There's a little bit of country on the song. I think it really works.
What?
Wow. I also wrote down sounds slightly country to me, which I don't love the country influence, but I agree with you that it works.
Yeah, which, I mean, we've talked about this before. You don't like any country. I don't like most country, but I like stuff that's a little bit country, but not full-on country.
That surprises me.
Country. Yeah.
And yeah, I think this, like, little bit of country influence really works with her, like, synth pop sound, especially the build up to the chorus. Like, the guitar here is really cool, and then, yeah, I think this all totally works.
Wow. I thought you were going to say you didn't like this one because of the lyrics.
Me too.
Because of how she says, like, I'm having his baby. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
And
that's a
she's in her
bad line.
face.
That's a really bad line.
I thought you were going to hate that.
Yeah.
When I listened to it, I was like, yeah, he's not going to like that.
That's a really bad line.
That
I'm
was
sorry.
a mouth. But I think it's not a bad line though, because she's just showing and talking about.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like when you introduce
Hackish.
someone to your family and friends, they're like, why the hell are you dating this person? And you're like, I love them, I'm literally having their child, and everyone's like, oh God, please no, please tell me you're not. Like, that's the shock value. Like, it's just showcasing the dislike everyone has for this person.
If this were a scene in a movie, I would, like, roll my eyes at it. It's bad.
That's so funny. I like the lyrics and the sentiment.
Yeah, I like the
behind it.
sentiment. I like the story, the defiance in the face of all these people saying, like, oh, you shouldn't be with him or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I think, too, she kind of calls out the fans in the song, too.
I was just gonna say, yes, like, this is definitely, like, yes, a like, low-key shout-out to the fans to, like, chill, y'all.
Yeah. Because especially when she was...
Like, you say you're supporting me, but you're making it more difficult for me, and it's not good, yeah.
I love how she says, I'll tell you something about my good name. It's mine alone to disgrace. Like,
yes.
that right there.
Love that.
Is to everyone that has commented on who she's dating or why she's dating them. Like, at the end of the day, like, it is her choice.
It's her decision, and
she can't please
if you're
everyone.
really supporters, then support her.
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems like he sucks.
Well, but it's like taking power back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This song definitely wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but I still liked it.
Yeah, same. Like I wrote sounds slightly country to me, but that won't stop me from singing along.
It's probably it's not my favorite on here. I don't think.
Yeah.
For Bryce it is though, but
But it's still good.
Yeah, but it's
well, I think
still.
this is the only one I like. It goes on a bit too long. I think it's the longest song on this album, right?
No, I don't know.
I didn't think so. Maybe it is.
But either way, there's one song on here I liked.
Okay, well,
we love to see it.
yeah.
All right, next, Fresh Out the Slammer. Okay, I love her opening vocals here.
Yes. And I love how she talks about getting out of a long-term relationship and refers to it as a slammer. Like,
yes,
jail.
I think that's really funny. Yes. Like, I did my sentence.
Yeah.
Now I'm free, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that, like, it's a song about being free of a relationship and finding herself again.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like a real, you know, sometimes in a relationship, you can lose yourself a little bit. Or the relationship ends and you're like, well, what now? You know?
Yeah.
And so you're kind of like going through like, you know, a new routine and like finding who you are again and what you like to do.
And then
So,
getting back
I like
out
that.
there dating, like who's gonna be like when she says my first call to, like who am I going to call to be
Yeah.
along my side on this journey of healing and moving on.
Yeah. So I just like the sentiment here again. And I agree. I like that she's like comparing her relationship to like a sentence.
Yeah. As horrible as that could be to that other person, it's if you feel trapped in a relationship or stuck, then this song you might just relate to.
Yeah. Or not even really trapped, but like you get out of a relationship you've been in for so long and then you're like, oh my gosh, like I don't have that person. Like I'm not accountable to anyone now. I can do
Exactly.
whatever I want.
Yeah, you have the freedom to literally make your own choices, make mistakes, and not affect the other person.
Right. Love that.
I like the country influence in this. You know, it feels like it
Mhm.
has a little bit of country in it too.
Yeah,
But I didn't like it as much
agree.
as the last one. This one feels more boring than the last one.
I love how boring is like your keyword here.
Boring.
The lyrics aren't bad though, for once. Lyrics are fine.
That's funny. Okay, well, I'm glad you liked it.
I didn't like it. I thought it was boring, but I can appreciate the little bit of country again. I think more of these songs should have had a different like sound to them.
Well, let me say, I'm glad you liked the lyrics. I'm glad you didn't dislike the lyrics.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
There you go. Okay, moving on. Florida.
Dun, dun,
3
dun.
exclamation points.
Yes. So this one features Florence and the Machine.
Love Florence and the Machine.
Mm-hmm. So, like, her vocals are just, you know, we've talked about this before. Her vocals are amazing.
Yes.
And this song is, like, to me about, like, escaping your problems.
Well, it's about the state of Florida.
Well,
Figuratively.
yeah. And once again, I thought this song was going to mean something different or be about something different than what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did y'all think about Florence's feature?
Well, I thought Florence's feature, I mean, her voice is just incredible, very unique. And I feel like this song really, this is kind of her style. And I thought Taylor and Florence's voice together were just
Yeah.
blended beautifully.
Really pretty.
Yeah, I agree. I think Florence is a great singer. You know, we've said that on previous podcasts. And they duet really well together. I didn't like this song, though.
I know you were excited about this one. Or,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know about
was.
excited, but yeah, like, looking forward to hearing what came from it. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Florence and the Machine. She's a much better artist than Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Oof.
oh,
Ouch.
Well, but you get a better artist as a featuring artist. I think of the comparison.
I don't think that's the point of it, but okay.
No, but
But I liked it. I like this song. You know, I like her references to the southern states
Yeah.
in these songs. There's a few of them in there. And I just love, like, how they talk about, like, what's the line, like, about the swamps? I didn't write it down, but Anyway, I like the whole like meaning behind it as just like a hey, like just F it all and go down to Florida, you know?
And people are saying it's talking about, well, at first people speculated that it's talking about her stop on her Eras tour at Florida Night 3 is what it was referencing with the 3 exclamation points.
Oh, really?
But I kind of thought it was going to tell a story of something that happened while she was there, which I think it I don't know. This song I have to listen, honestly, I need to listen to a little bit more.
Yeah.
And interpret it a little bit more because like I said, I'm just still at a loss of words, and collectively as a whole, like this whole album, there's just so much in it that I'm...
Yeah.
Yes, too much.
Oh, Bryce.
It's an hour long.
Yeah,
That's a long album.
It's good. I don't mind long albums, like if you're enjoying the music, but I can see...
Well, even when I am enjoying the
really
music, like an hour's a long time for an album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy this. I didn't like this song. It's boring.
Pish posh.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll move on. Okay, anything else to say about Florida?
Oh,
Florida!
It's a terrible state.
Oh my gosh.
What? Okay.
It gives Taylor energy.
Yeah, I don't mind Florida. Okay, next we have Guilty as Sin. So, this is a sweet song. Like, it sounds like, you know, she's like all in her head and, you know, just kind of describing that kind of feeling. I liked it.
I love the guilty as sin question mark. Like,
yeah.
Kind of like, am I guilty? Is this really bad? Or...
Yeah. It's like questioning yourself and your own motives. Like, yeah. I thought that was good.
And I do like the religious references that she has throughout the album.
Yeah, I noted that too, yeah.
And the bridge for this one especially, what if I roll the stone away, they're going to crucify me anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the slide guitar in the chorus. At least I think that's a slide guitar. But, yeah, the song's fine. Didn't hate it.
And a glowing review.
Yeah.
I think it talks about, too, like, if you're in a relationship that's not really fulfilling or not really working out, and when you're, like, questioning, should you get out of it? Like, what should you do? And then you start kind of daydreaming or thinking of leaving and, like, meeting someone else or even somebody else. It's like, well, is that really wrong for me to do? Like, am I guilty if I do this? If I haven't acted upon it? Like, is it bad to desire or long for someone else or for something else?
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, you know, something that might feel like a natural progression. You're like questioning, like, am I being wrong? Am I thinking of this clearly? Is this just a reaction to something else? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's just that whole in your head thing, like questioning everything.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. So, should we move on?
Yeah.
Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? I like this one.
Me too.
You know, I like how she says, you don't get to tell me about sad. Like, she's like, hold up, shut your mouth. Like, you don't get to complain here. I love that. Because to me, it's, again, like taking her power back a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that question of, who's afraid of little old me? Like, why are you afraid of me? But also her saying, like, oh, but you should be.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of
the
theme of, like, anti-hero.
Correct. Yes. And like how she says, all the bad stuff people say, I put narcotics in all my songs. It's why you still sing along. Like, you made me this way and now you should be afraid. I like that.
Yes. And in the chorus, I was tame, I was gentle till the circus life made me mean. Basically, like, talking about her growing up in the eye of the public in the music industry and how hard that can be and how you have to become like a hard-shelled person a little bit in order to get through that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love, like, once again, I just feel like this is her taking her power back.
I would agree.
She's a billionaire. What power can she take back? She is the power.
Oh my gosh.
Well, sometimes you could just be like a cog in the machine, you know?
She's a billionaire. That's not a cog anymore.
Well, you gotta think too, like, and especially like kind of looking at it from like women in the industry type of point of view, it's, you get labeled and you get defined and it's really hard to like not, I feel like, personally, if I was in her situation with that, I think I'd have a hard time with my own identity when everyone else is saying I'm this person and really I'm not, because you only get a glimpse of what you see.
And it almost like it doesn't allow you to grow as a person,
Yeah.
you know? Like, you're just stuck in this little box, you know? And, like, this is her, like, no, like, this is me, this is who I am, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree necessarily. It's just like, it's a bit rich coming from someone like her is all.
I see what you're saying, but
Yeah, but rich people have feelings too.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to talk about the music industry, this is a problem for dozens of other people that aren't as, like, you know, wealthy or famous or as well connected as she is.
But the money
No, I
doesn't.
get that,
Yeah.
but I didn't really take this as like a music industry song
Oh,
either.
no,
Like
it's
I
about
feel like we're kind
fame.
of getting into that, but yeah, but like but I also like I don't know, I just really like the sentiment of like, which we've heard in some of her songs before, like, no, let me stop you right there. This is what I'm saying. It's time for you to listen to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like I just really like that, like finding your voice. And I know I see what you're saying, but like no, I'm sure she did go through a period, you know, and she talks about it where like she kind of had to step out of like what was expected of her and like do her own thing, you know? Which I think is hard in any regard.
Yeah. I'm sure, like, it's hard being, like, in the spotlight like that, regardless of, like, who you are, but, like, you know, she is wildly successful, so it's kind of like, I don't really care.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I thought it was a good song. I like the song itself. I
Yeah.
like the lyrics. I like the music. So I like the vocals.
I do too.
So.
Once again,
Agree.
I don't care for her music style. I don't like synth pop, you know.
We know.
I got you.
And I was listening to this song and I'm like, yeah, you know. And then for however many more tracks of this.
Okay. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about what I think is my favorite song on the first half of the album. But we'll get there.
Okay.
Not there yet. So.
Okay.
Anyways, okay. So the next song, I Can Fix Him. No, really, I can.
This song.
So, you know, yeah, she's saying she can handle a dangerous man, but then at the end she says, whoa, maybe I can't. But I like that. Like, I like how she's like, listen, I got this. And then at the end she's like, wait, maybe I'm in too deep. You know?
Exactly. Like, you can't fix a man that doesn't want to be fixed.
Yeah. And I think this kind of talks about like her like delusion of thinking. And it might not have even been like a conscious thought, like, but like, oh no, like I got this, I can fix them. Like, and everybody knows like you can't.
Yeah.
Okay. But like when you're in it, sometimes you can't see past that, you know, like you're not
Yeah.
thinking literally I can fix him. You're just thinking like, oh, well, maybe this and maybe that, like maybe this will get better. And maybe, you know,
Yes.
and that's not ever the case. And so I like how at the end she's like acknowledging, whoa, maybe I can't.
I totally, Jen, I think you hit the nail on the head perfectly with that, because, you know, no one really sits there and thinks, yeah, I'm going to make this person a better person. Like, I'm going to make all these
Yeah,
changes.
you don't think
No.
that.
I think
Yeah.
people
But-
do.
Well, some people
some
do.
people do.
Yeah. But, you know, I feel like I've been in a similar situation before where I thought, not, oh, I can fix him, but more of like Jen was saying, like, oh, this will change. And, you know, if he does this thing, then it'll be fine. And then it'll be better. Like,
yes.
it's having that hope and that like, okay, if this person loves me enough, or if I love them enough, they'll make the changes they need to make and it will be fine. When in reality,
Yeah. And that's not the case.
no,
Yeah.
because people,
Or maybe one little thing changes,
Yes.
but not like really, you know, like,
yeah,
or like, yeah, it's a little too late kind of thing. 'Cause you know it's not
Exactly.
going to last. That, like the
Exactly.
change isn't going to last. And it's just about, I think it's about human nature. And yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think she was saying in so many words, like, I can fix him. Like, I think her line about, no, really, I can, like, is like convincing herself that like it's
Yes.
going to be better.
yes,
And like I think you hit it where you said it's hope. It's like hope that like this is going to be better and it's not, you know?
Mhm.
And yeah, that's why I think like this isn't just surface level her thinking I can fix him, no really I can. I don't think that's the message she's putting out there. I think it's more of a like she's acknowledging the delusion of
Mhm.
thinking you can fix somebody.
yes, exactly. And it falling back on, you know, you can't change someone. They have to want to change. I mean, you can inspire someone to change. And I think that theme of like our love should inspire them to change, and they'll be better and they'll do what they need to do and they'll provide and show up in the ways that you need them to, when reality, like you said, that delusion and that hope of it doesn't always happen.
Yeah. And I had like a friend right now kind of in this phase of life. And so I just kept thinking of her, like, and she doesn't even realize she's in this phase. You know what I mean?
Are you putting your friend on blast on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not naming names. But
drop the name.
But like we're not naming names, but yeah, there's a friend going through this right now, and I'm like, you know, and I can see it from the outside, like,
yes,
bruh, just give it up. but you know, when you're in it, it's different. And like, so anyway, I really like this is a slow song, but I really like the moodiness of it.
I thought it was boring.
I do too. How?
What a surprise.
No, I think this song's a perfect, like, Jen, like that situation you just said. Everyone else, it's like she's speaking to everyone else in the song, like you're saying, like, your friend to you, without realizing, is saying, I can fix him, and you're like, oh no, honey, you can't, you're in the stage, and she's not going to realize it until she's out of it.
Yeah, it's not something you could tell someone.
Y'all are going really long on a really obvious point. Like, I don't want to be mean about this, but like, it's like a big joke right now to say I can fix them.
Yes.
Well, it's always a joke, but you don't realize it when you're in it.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll move on since we're going really long on a simple point. Next track, LOML. So we see this abbreviation, you know, changes from love of my life to loss of my life. Whoa, deep.
That, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I cried.
Oh, this song is my favorite on the first part of the album.
I think it might be my favorite.
It had me sad, and, you know, I thought it was really good.
I was too checked out by this point to be sad. I was just like, okay, I'm done with this. I was like, ooh, piano. Are we going somewhere interesting with this? And then no, it was just kind of like a sad piano ballad.
Aww.
No, stop.
It's so
this
good.
I mean, you're allowed to have your opinion, but when I realized she meant loss of my life and not love of my life, I just
like
that.
Yes,
felt like a knife to the heart.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
This song really, like, I just resonated with the song very personally, and it just brought up a lot of things that, like, I was like, wow.
Yes,
Taylor, you did not have to do that. You did not have to go there.
You looked inside of our souls.
Y'all ever listen to emo music?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's different.
Y'all should listen to some emo music. I feel like it's better at this.
It's a different feeling.
This is my emo music.
This is my emo music.
She gave me the emo album I needed.
Yeah. And, like, I love how... Okay, you can't tell me this isn't poetic. When your impressionist paintings of heaven turn out to be fakes, like, that line, like, I just loved it.
Yes, and in the chorus, you know it, in one glance it's legendary. What we thought was for all time was momentary. Like, just reminiscing while you're even in that relationship. So, like, you're reminiscing on, this relationship's amazing. It's, like, I'm gonna remember this forever. It's gonna go on forever. And then afterwards, after it failing, that gut wrench of knowing it's over.
Yes.
And realizing, oh, this person was only meant for, like, a season of my life, not for, like, my entire life. That just cuts deep.
It does. So it's speculated that she was singing to Matt Healy. I know you don't like getting into the celebrity gossip, Bryce, but and when she says Mr. Steal Your Girl, then make her cry, like, you had all the moves, but then, like, this is how you acted and you messed it up.
See, I think this song, because I know people are torn between Matt Healy and Joe. I truly think the song's about Joe, though.
I thought it was about Joe, too, but, like, what I'm reading about it was, like, Healy, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, but the 6-year relationship with Joe? Like,
yeah.
Loss of my life? Yeah. I don't know.
Like, because especially when she said in the chorus, you low down boy, you stand up guy. Matt Healy is not known to be the stand-up guy. He's the angsty, emo, tortured poet, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. One line that killed me too was in the bridge, I wish I could unrecall how we almost had it all.
Yes! Dude, gut-wrenching. Gut-wrenching. Absolutely. Like, all the feelings in this song.
Yes, like just saying how, you would be able to move on faster from someone if you could forget the memories, if you could forget, like, and just like that, what if, like, it's just so sad to hear her say, like, they almost made it, they almost had it.
Just wasn't quite there.
Yeah, and then it died, as she says, like, it ended, and now it's haunting her, like,
yeah.
There's no, her calling it the loss of her life, like, that this will always be known as the loss of something that she never thought she would lose.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's like acknowledging like the huge role that somebody had in your life and then they're just gone. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, I just think that is really, like, it just describes something that's relatable to a lot of people,
Yeah. Oh, this song. I love it. It cuts deep.
Yeah.
Not for me.
I love how we're just like absolutely loving it and you're like, nah.
But in fairness, I was pretty out of it for the last few songs of this album just because I was like, oh my god, this is still going.
Oh, that's sad. Sad for you.
Yeah, that is sad for you. Well, I think it's so intense. I think honestly, and you can disagree with this album is just one of her most intense albums.
Yeah.
It's overwhelmingly intense to me, and that's what it is. It's just trying to work through that intense feeling we're getting from Taylor.
Yeah. I agree. It is. It's like a healing album, I feel like. Like, express those emotions, get it out there, feel all your feels.
Yeah.
And then move on.
Yep, next.
Okay. Next, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart.
I also love this one.
Me too. It's so good. So she says, I was grinning like I'm winning. I was hitting my marks because I can do it with a broken heart. And I cry a lot, but I am so productive. It's an art.
Yes. And I'm so depressed. I act like it's my birthday every day. Literally,
Yes.
Meek and Taylor is also a Capricorn, and I'm not big into horoscopes and all that stuff, but like apparently Capricorns cry on their birthday every year, and I do cry on my birthday every year. So I thought that was a fun line to say, like, yeah, I'm crying every day, like it's my birthday, and I hate it.
Yes, I love this. I just think it's so good. Like, again, this is like a song about strength, I think. I really like this song. It's got more of a driving beat than, the other ones, but then it slows too. So I kind of like those, like the beat and then it kind of slows down.
And I love Bryce, and I'm sure you noticed this. I love how she included what plays in her earpiece during the concert, like during the Eras tour, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, like the counting into songs so she stays on beat. I love that element of it because she's just painting the picture of this whole song, like, hey, while everyone thinks I'm having the time of my life, I'm on this groundbreaking tour, but I'm so depressed, I'm so sad, I'm going through it. But
yeah,
I like it just perfectly. I think the musical element she put in this perfectly shows that she truly means like I can do it like with a broken heart. Like I can put on the show, I can give it all I have, even though I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
I thought this was the worst song on the album.
What?
No.
Eh.
Why?
I don't know. Her just whole like thing with, oh, I'm performing even though I just went through a bad breakup. Like, okay.
But
you don't
it's
care.
Dime a dozen.
Oh my gosh! But it's not.
I don't know. I
Honestly-
don't like how she sold it, I guess. It's like a fine thing to write a song about. I just thought the delivery was bad.
Well, I think she's trying to make it humorous in a way, like, and I think you can see it throughout the song. It's kind of, to me, it paints the perfect picture of when you're going through it and it's a lot and you're just like, yeah, my life sucks, but it's fine, guys. I got it. Like, that's how I imagine this song. Like, that's why I find it, like, almost in a way lighthearted. Instead of, like, being sad, she wants us to be like, like, what you guys don't see what you don't know is I'm dying on the inside, ha 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 ha. Like, that's how I take the song.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah? I mean, I get the premise of the song, I didn't think it was delivered well, I don't know.
Oh, I liked it. I thought it was so good. Okay. Well, fine.
Yeah, this kind of sucks that I hated the most upbeat song on this album, too, because I felt like it could have used some more, upbeat parts.
Oh, you're such a hater. Okay. Next, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
Oh Lord, this song. She did not hold back. I one line I just have in that first verse. In your Jehovah Witness suit, who the F was that
Yes!
guy?
I love it.
That made me crackle.
Yeah, I thought this was so funny. I thought it was a good roast, and it's like soft and strong at the same time.
Yeah.
I like it. I love it. It's like, I just want to know. I like this part. I just want to know if rusting my sparkling summer was the goal, and I don't miss what we had. Like, I just, it's such a roast. It's like, did you mean to just like mess up my good life?
Mm-hmm.
I like that sentiment.
I did too. And a message to the smallest man who's ever lived, basically calling him a cheap, a coward, like.
Yeah.
And it also too, it makes me wonder, like, did he ghost her?
That's what it sounds. Okay, that's what I've read too. Like, people are like, wait, is this what happened? Because if so, this is really funny.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the Dear John, like a John Mayer, like big
Yes.
F you, I don't want you back. I just want to let you know that like I'll forget about you and I'll forget about us, but I'll never forgive you for what you did, because it's like just as a person, like your actions, I feel like she was saying.
Yeah. I just, I really like that it's like such a roast, but it's like a nice little song.
Yeah. I mean, she literally said you didn't measure up in any measure of a man. Like,
Yeah.
ouch. That's a slap in the
Harsh.
face.
I don't know, I felt like it could have been a better roast.
You think?
What?
Yeah. I mean, he seems like he sucks, so, and she's probably
Well,
right, but...
Did you not hear what his response was to this album and to like the songs that were about him?
Oh, no, I didn't.
He basically said the same thing. He was like, kind of in a way grateful that what she said was only what she said. Like, he basically said like, that's valid, like, good reason, like, that was a good review of me. Like, he's like, but you know, she painted me in a better picture than what I deserved.
Ooh.
Oh, so I was right. She could have gone harder on him.
Yeah, he thinks so. He was like, man, I'm glad that she didn't say more.
Wow. That's pretty bad when somebody's saying that. I like that though. He's acknowledging.
I thought the piano was pretty on this, but otherwise a boring song.
Yeah, I like the piano a lot. I like the piano in a lot of these tracks.
Yeah, I do too.
Really nice. I didn't think it was boring. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on this one?
No.
No.
Okay, next we have The Alchemy. Okay, everybody stop. I love this song.
Me too. Haters are gonna hate on it, but
I know, haters gonna hate.
we know who this one's about, Travis Kelce, and if you know Taylor, she always leaves Easter eggs, and I have not mentioned Easter eggs in this whole podcast yet, so you guys should be proud of
I
me.
know. Yeah.
But when she did the Time magazine and she called Travis, like, she said something that was like mental or metal as hell, this is what she left an Easter egg for this song.
Yes! The Alchemy. I think this is such a pretty song.
It is.
I liked the instrumentation in the intro, and then it went back to boring once it hit the chorus. And I didn't like the
Jeez.
lyrics. Well, you can tell I was disengaged with the back half of this because my notes are a lot
Yeah.
more sparse.
You're like, your notes are blank. You're like, no notes.
No
I have no
notes.
notes for the song. I think it's so good.
I love when she says, because the sign on your heart said it's still reserved for me. I thought that was just cute.
Yeah. It's such a cute one.
And, you know, some people of this song are like, oh my gosh, like, this is kind of what we expected you to write about Travis Kelce. But I think this song just kind of showcases how fun-hearted it is and how it's lighthearted. Like, you know, she's basically getting to live, like, people calling it, like, oh, basic. But she's getting to live, like, a normal life in a way and do things she normally hasn't done. And I don't know. I think the song's great.
Yeah, I love how she says like it kind of talks about like her past boyfriends were just blokes who warmed the benches.
Yes.
I love that. Like they weren't what I thought they were, but you're the real deal kind of thing.
He's a man, basically, is what she's saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Ditch the clowns, get the crown, baby. Love that.
That's a bad line.
Where's the trophy?
I love it.
Like, he doesn't care about the trophy because he's running over to her. He's going to her first. Like, he doesn't care about all other things. He just cares about her.
Yeah. It's so
He doesn't care about the fame. Like, I guess in the way she's talking to you about how the fame doesn't affect him. He embraces it.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, yeah, Bryce, you're a little quiet on this one.
I'm quiet on most of it. Again, it's a really long album, and I was just kind of like, I'm ready for this to be done now.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, we can move on. Okay, so the next song, Clara Bow. I think this is a cute song. So we know Clara Bow used to be like a really famous person in Hollywood. So I think this is such a good, like, I would have never like thought that she would do a Clara Bow reference. I was kind of surprised, but I think it's really pretty. Like, I like how she talks about this line, all your life, did you know you'd be picked like a rose?
Oh, I did like that one.
Yeah, I just think it just, it's kind of about like fame and like struggling to me. She also references Stevie Nicks, which is another, like hugely famous woman. So I don't know. I think it's cute.
I think some people missed the meaning of the song, and I'll admit, at first I was one of them. I had to listen to it again to realize she's based, because at the end when she talks about herself, she's talking about how, like, someone comes up in the spotlight and is well known, and then another person comes up and then they're compared to that person, and then that person's well known, and she's, I think she is talking, like you said, she's talking about her journey of becoming famous. Like, I'm not trying to exaggerate in the pre-chorus, but I think I might die if it happened. Like, basically saying, if I were to be the next big star, to like be able to like perform, like I would kill for it. And talks about how no one in her small town thought that would happen.
Yeah, and like she goes into, you're the new god we're worshiping, promised to be dazzling. Beauty is a beast that roars down on all fours, demanding more. Like, it's just like, all this pressure, all the pressure on you, and like every little thing is scrutinized.
Yeah.
I just think that it's really cute.
It reminds me of her song, The Lucky One, on Red.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember that one, the theme of it, where she kind of
forgot about
talks.
that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. I read somewhere that said, oh, like she can wipe her tears with one of her $1 billion.
That sounds like something Bryce would say.
Like, ooh, that's a harsh.
Yeah. Well, the lyrical content is basically the same as on Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? More about fame. I mean, she's not wrong. It's just also like, she can wipe her tears with her $1 billion. But I thought this was a decent song, a decent closer.
Oh.
I like the guitar. It almost sounds like a indie rock guitar,
Yeah.
Yeah, like the rhythm to it and the strings. So it's a decent song.
See, I'm honestly surprised you said that, Bryce, but I can see why with the instrumentals. But I didn't think that this song was, like, I kind of knew, well, I assumed there's going to be more songs dropping. Like, the clues were there, the Easter eggs were there. Because I really didn't see the song as, like, the final closure of the album. Like, it didn't.
Oh, it felt like a good closer to me.
Really?
Oh, it did?
Yeah, I thought this worked as a closer.
Oh.
Oh, gosh, okay.
Okay, maybe we're wrong.
I can see it, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I guess so. But now, honestly, though, now that we have that second album drop, and the manuscript closes for that one, I think, to me, that truly was the closer.
Yes, okay, so without getting into all the tracks on the second album, I just want to, first of all, I loved that she included all this new music. And Bryce, I know you disagree that it should have been edited down.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was so excited. I woke up that morning and Brenna had texted, "It's a double album." And I'm like, "Wait, what? Hold on.
Yes.
Let me go look." So, I was very excited. Okay, so I'll just say this. I like the second half better than the first half.
See, a lot of people are saying that.
Yeah,
And
I liked it.
I mean, I don't know if I like, people said that about Midnights too. And I will say with Midnights, the 3 a.m. version of the Midnights, I think truly made the entire album 100% better. And I will agree with you somewhat on this one. There are certain songs on that second half that we can do a whole nother podcast on.
Yeah.
That truly added to the album and needed to be on there. But there's so many good songs in that first half that like, I can't say if it's bad. I just think it was needed. Like the songs added was needed. Yeah. It just completely...
I'll say it was a nice surprise. It was really like, because I really liked the second half. And I liked the first part of the album. And again, I'll say, like, first listen, I was like, okay, I like it. Let me go back and listen again. And like some of the songs that I was iffy about, I was like, no, I actually like it. So I don't have any songs on this whole album, including all the bonus tracks, that I didn't like. Like, I don't think there's one song that I was like, oh, I hate it, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm really glad she included all of it. Like, I'm glad we got all of this. And I'm like, God, what a powerhouse. Like, and I know you disagree.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, Bryce. But I'm just like, to put out all this music, like, she really does, like, funnel her energy into, like, what she's going through in life, comes out as lyrics on the paper, and then it produces an album. Like, I think it's great.
Exactly. And Bryce, you can hate on it being too much and having a lot of content, and she need to cut it down, edit it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do feel that way, but I think she has said before, the purpose of this album, she didn't want to create this album, she needed to create it. She needed to let it go and submit it in this whole, like, tortured poets department idea, like, she needed to submit all this stuff, call these meetings to order, so she could basically process and heal and go through it. And she needed to just put it all out there and say, all right, it's out there now. I'm done. I've moved on from these situations. This time period of my life, as hectic and crazy and messy and all over the place it was, I said what I needed to say. I just think I'm still processing. I'm still processing this whole album, and I did not feel prepared as I normally do after normally I can absorb the album and I'll sit on it for a long time, but this one I feel like is going to take me a long, long time to sit on.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's all the feelings.
Yeah. The intensity.
Her last album was full of feelings.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved her last album. I loved it.
Me too. This one too. It's like, call your therapist. Go to therapy after listening to this.
For real, though. But I just like it because it's like, for a song to, like, bring up, like, old feelings is, like, or fresh feelings, whatever, okay. But, like, for me, is, like, wow, it really, like, speaks to you in that way, you know?
Yeah, I'll reiterate, I thought this was, like, a more bloated, less edited, lesser version of Midnights. It's a similar sound. I just felt like it was worse. She really needed an editor and to cut it down to maybe like the 10 to 15 best tracks here. Maybe take another pass at the lyrics. I don't know. I thought this was worse than the other stuff by her I've listened to.
Oh.
Well, I think that was the point though.
Yeah, in retrospect, I was way too hard on 1989.
You were. But
she could get much worse.
I think that goes back to what we've already talked about though, Bryce, is that, if she wanted this album to really be about for records and for awards and for producing a good album, I think she would have done that. But I think she just truly wanted to put out into the world her thoughts in these songs, and she did that, and she doesn't care. And I think, to me, that I like that more than, I don't want an artist that's just gonna only release music to make money and win awards.
She doesn't need the music to make money anymore.
Oh my God.
Well, but she kind of said that in the line that I noted about how, like, people say I put narcotics in my music.
Yes.
Like, basically, to me, that meant, like, so people will keep buying. Like, she knows because I've heard this before. Oh, she knows the formula, and she's just doing it for her fans to make all that money. And, like, that's exactly what I think is not the case in this album.
Exactly.
Because it's not, like, a poppy, like, fun, It's
Yeah.
definitely tortured.
And she has dated lots of tortured poets, and she is a tortured poet herself.
She is. Love that.
Yeah, no, I didn't like this one.
Well, we're all entitled to our
It
opinions.
was too
Yes.
long.
I'm just still shocked, but Daddy, I Love Him is your favorite track, Bryce. Like
Yeah,
that.
I like the
that
country.
threw me for a
know.
loop.
I think that little bit of country sound works with their other synth pop sound. It's weird, it's two genres I don't like, but combined it makes something better than the sum of its
But you
parts.
like it.
Yeah, you know what?
Love that.
I love that for you, Bryce. I really do.
I mean, I'm not gonna
Me
listen
too.
to it again,
I think you should.
but
Yeah, you should.
You should listen to the whole album again.
no. So
Yeah.
are we ever doing the second half?
Yes.
We need to.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
'cause
listen to it. That's another hour.
Well, let's wait.
No, we're doing
let's
it.
wait. Give us more time to process.
Okay.
Yeah. We can do it in like a month. All right. Do we have any more closing thoughts, or should I close us out?
That album, you two really liked it.
I just feel wrecked. I feel like you could write a whole dissertation about this album. There's so much we didn't talk about, so much still
Yeah.
left to uncover and discuss,
much.
and I'm feeling as I'm the tortured poet, honestly, and that's how I feel. That's my closing
Yes.
remark.
Taylor, you did this to us.
Yes, Taylor, thank you. You were tortured, and now I am.
No, we're tortured.
Okay.
I love it.
Ugh.
No, but like I legit was getting sad, like listening
Yeah.
to this, and I'm like, oh, yeah. So anyway, okay, I liked it. I thought it was good. I can't wait to go through the rest of the tracks,
Me too.
and see what Bryce thinks about them. But anyway, okay, I'll close this out.
All right. Oh, thanks for coming on, Brenna.
Thanks for having me, guys,
thank
again.
you.
I always love coming on.
Yeah, we love to hear what you have to say about Taylor's albums, despite what Bryce says. We
Yeah.
really enjoy it. But anyway, yeah, so this has been Beachview, our podcast about all sorts of things and stuff. And this has been the first 16 songs of the Tortured Poets Department. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Brenna.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.